Okay. Hello, my name is Michael Araka, and I'm here with my family. As you can see there, my mom's on the left, little brother's in the middle, and my dad's on the right. And today I will be talking about Native Americans in society as an intercultural group. The cultural group I will be presenting as the Native Americans, and the reason behind selecting this topic is because I believe it was a different topic that not a lot of people would consider, and it's something that I thought it was important to write on. I found an immediate interest in this cultural group in high school while taking a history class, and I thought it was important for people to know just a little bit about their culture. Their vast and very different means of communication from tribe to tribe makes them unique in society today, and the brutality that our American government has shown the Native Americans should be more understood within society. Within this paper, I seek to explore their history, signifiers of their culture, stereotypes, and their attitudes and deep belief system that they have instilled in their people. And as you noted in the video, a term that would signify this intercultural group is genocide when it comes to the Native Americans. And genocide is the deliberate killing of people, especially those of an ethnic group. And an example of this term I found by Brendan Rensink, a scholarly writer of the University of Nebraska. And as he explains, an example of genocidal event that is featured prominently in the field's history in the Sand Creek Massacre of 1864. And this was done by a professor of the University of Nebraska. He goes on to just explain how the Sand Creek Massacre was an operation conducted by a group of Colorado chivalry men who had ill intentions toward the Native Americans, and just how they killed off the Native Americans in their land. And then this was never truly brought to surface because, again, in 1864 they really weren't mainly concerned with the Native Americans. There was, the wars going on. There was many other pressing issues, and this was just kind of shoved under the rug. The most famous event was the Trail of Tears, as President Jackson forcibly removed 16,000 Cherokee Indians to move 800 miles to Oklahoma, and during the process 4,000 Native Americans died along the way. So that's a staggering 1/4 of the people who didn't make it to Oklahoma. So again, that is a mass genocide in my opinion, obviously. And then another quote I found here from Francis Flavin, who is an assistant professor at the University of Texas. He said that they perceived Indians as historically oppressed minority victimized by imperial conquest and as a dignified, peace-loving people who lived harmlessly in nature. So again, this just kind of goes to show that the Native Americans in society really weren't a problem, and they were obviously massively murdered by people who just wanted out of their land. And then throughout the article, he just goes on to explain the different regions throughout America in which, how different tribes were forced to move, and obviously our American troops just ended up just slaughtering them. So it was just a mass genocide of these people. On to the signifiers in which you can signify a Native American. The main point to which I think here is just the different from tribe to tribe. They wear the headdresses, the body paintings, the piercings. So there's different things that you can signify as a Native American. And this is just a very bland way to describe their appearance, but again, most people within society know what a Native American looks like, and again, it just differs from tribe to tribe. And then going on to their values and belief system, it is much more known to the general public as to their place and what they are in culture. They're not very populated, but there's different things that they believe in different things. One of them is quietness. Within their society, they believe that how should I say this? As Indians, they promote quietness to their youth, and you don't hear them talk very often. They're very deep in spirituality, which is another one I've listed here. It's something that's practiced within every tribe, but because they don't place importance on talking, it is important to get a grasp on what these tribes generally believe. Thirdly, I listed that they place great importance on the land. So obviously with American troops kicking them off the land, this obviously disgruntled them, and they just place deep importance on valuing land and valuing nature, and it's something that's very important to them within society. Again, a last thing that I listed here was that they promote they believe in their elderly, so they believe their wisdom from their elders should be passed on to their youth, and this is something that they value very much, and they consider the elderly wise beyond their years. So this is an important trait that they list. And then ultimately, there are many different sets of values and beliefs, but again, it just differs from tribe to tribe, and every tribe's different in exactly what they believe. But those are just some of the general values and beliefs that they do. And another quote I have here from Walter Fleming. It says, "Because many people have such a limited knowledge of Indians, we are arguably among the most misunderstood ethnic groups in the United States." And this is the part of your video that's stated that what are some of the stereotypes and misconceptions that we view of Indians. And I just listed a few here that I found in an article by Walter Fleming. He just explains how people think that it's a non-existent race in society, and actually there's 4.4 million practicing Native Americans spread throughout the country. And again, this is not a sign of a dying race. This is a sign of a race that is still very much going within society today. And it's actually something that shocked me. I didn't actually think that there were that many Native Americans present in American society today. And then secondly, I found that they don't like being called Native Americans. I didn't really realize that. I thought that maybe that was something like blacks like being called African Americans, but again, that's also not true. I found that they like being called directly what their tribe is. So they like being called either Cherokees or the Seminoles. There's different tribes, and they like being directly called, what he thinks they are. And lastly, in another study conducted by Shannon Ridgway, she explains the stereotype that all Native Americans live on reservations. This is another blatant myth, and as she stated, when it comes to analyzing this culture, only 22% live on nationally reserved lands. So that's obviously a stunning 78% that don't live on these lands. And the last thing that I listed here was just, as you probably have all seen today, the Cleveland Indians, how their stereotype that Chief Wahoo, which is their mascot, it's just kind of stereotype that, of what an Indian looks like. And also the Redskins. The Washington Redskins, that's a highly debated topic right now, and just how they're stereotyped in society as to what people would be misconceptionized as what they think they are. And then in conclusion, there are a couple interesting facts that caught my attention. A wow moment for me would be that I hadn't previously known that there are so many different tribes in America today. They vary from tribe to tribe, and it was something that was difficult in finding exactly what each tribe believes in, because again, there's so many tribes, it's hard to pinpoint exactly which one believes in what. And then another fact that shocked me was that just how spread out they are within society. I originally thought that most of the tribes were out west, and most of them are, but there are more located on the eastern side of society, and it kind of shocked me because I thought most of them would reside out west. And then finally, I enjoyed my research I conducted on Native Americans. I found a lot of neat facts, and I definitely think that they have an important part in intercultural society today. Thank you.